So again, my name's Kevin. I run Relax and Learn Guitar, where I teach folks over 40 how to play the guitar so they can relax, have some fun, and be part of a great online community. We have a great group of folks at Relax and Learn Guitar. And like I said, there's been, hey, what's up, Terry? There's been some requests around this topic, so I thought I would do another workshop. I did one last month where we focused a whole bunch on the metronome, which we're going to talk about and use in this workshop as well. But if you're a member of Relax and Learn Guitar, you can log into the members area and catch the replay of that workshop and every other live workshop that I've done, and watch that at your leisure, along with the printouts of those lessons. So we talked about the metronome. Tonight, we're going to continue working on our rhythm and timing. I'm going to give you 5 ways or 5 things you can do to get better at playing in rhythm and in time. Before I do that and jump in, I just want to talk about why I think folks ask this question and why rhythm is so important. I tell folks it's probably the #1 thing, in my opinion, to get really good at when it comes to playing the guitar. So, rhythm is king kind of thing. And the reason that's so is kind of rhythm is pretty much what like all music is built around. So if you are wanting to play with other musicians, or you want to play with folks who have rhythm, and just for example, if you're at a family get-together or at a campfire, or a sing-along, or at a party, the folks that are able to play the guitar and play in rhythm are the ones that people kind of head to, right? They're the ones people want to play along with, or sing along with, or hang out with. Not so much, it's probably more important to have kind of rhythm and groove than it is to be flashy. And there's nothing wrong with being flashy and playing, playing leads and solos and modes and scales and being good at that kind of stuff. There's a place for that, I think. But what this workshop is really concerned with is more so the rhythm part of being a guitarist and playing in time. Tom Carpenter said, he's in, let's do it. What's going on, Tom? Good, glad you were able to make it here tonight. We got folks coming in. So if you want, just give me a thumbs up if everything looks and sounds okay. And if folks want to say hello in the comments and where they're from, you're more than welcome to do that. The folks that have been talking so far are guys that are in the Relax and Learn Guitar membership. So, hey, what's up, Tony? There's a thumbs up. All right, cool. So it looks like we've got a good video and audio, and there's a whole bunch of likes and hearts and whatnot. So that's why rhythm is super important. Rhythm is king, and you want to be able to be that person that is able to have other musicians play with you or play along with other folks. You want to be the person that people are going to seek out to kind of sing along with at a get-together, a family event, a party, whatever. So tonight's workshop is on 5 ways you can get better at rhythm and timing to help improve, so you can be that person. Hey, what's up, Randy? So the first thing I want to talk about is it's kind of give an example of why you can not be perfect at kind of playing notes and chords, but if you're really good at keeping your rhythm going, hey, what's up, Larry from South Carolina? If you're good at keeping your rhythm kind of steady and on track, it doesn't make as big of a difference. So just to kind of illustrate that real quick, I'm just going to play a few chords. And just kind of focus on my strumming hand. I'm going to keep my strumming hand going, and I'm going to not get exactly correct the right hand or fretting hand. just want to illustrate how being really aware of your rhythm and timing and your counting and keeping your strumming hand steady, you can get away with a whole lot of not so perfect fretted notes with your fretting hand or your left hand in my case. And as long as you kind of got that rhythm going, it's not going to be as noticeable to other folks playing music with you, or if people are singing along with you, they're not going to notice. They're much more going to be concerned with how you sound rhythmically and in time. Hey, what's up, Anthony? Good to see you. Oh, and I should have probably mentioned for the members that are watching, I will put this recording in the members area, and you can log in to watch the replay whenever you like at your convenience. So if you're late or missed it, and you're a member of Relax and Learn Guitar, you can log in there and check it out, along with some notes to help you out with this lesson. So that is kind of my soapbox about why rhythm's important, and kind of being much better at kind of having a groove going than being flashy when you play. And it's just my opinion and my the way I kind of teach and what I kind of focus on. So 5 ways to get better at your rhythm and timing. The first way we talked a lot about at our last workshop, which is using our friend the metronome. So I always tell folks to invest in either a metronome app or log onto a website to get one. You can get it for free. I just like the old school chunky piece of plastic analog metronome. So I have several lessons in Relax and Learn Guitar that kind of talk about a metronome, how to set it up, the replay of the last workshop. So you remember, you can also log in and catch up on those lessons as well on using a metronome. So I'm not going to go into a super bunch of detail tonight, but we are going to use this throughout this lesson. The reason that a metronome helps with your rhythm and timing is it really gets your brain and your hands and your arms and your body just kind of used to that rhythm. So I recommend people, I just got this one set to 76 beats per minute, so that's what we're going to kind of be working with tonight. I encourage folks when they're first using a metronome, you can get really caught up. These things can do a ton of stuff. So you can set them to have a stress beat on the first beat of the bar or the measure, or every other one, or 3/4 time. I just encourage people when we're starting out to set your metronome to, we're going to do 76 beats per minute, just on a quarter note, just beeping, nothing real fancy. So it's just going to beep at 76 beats per minute. Hey, what's up, Thomas? And Simon's here from the UK. Nice. Welcome to Relax and Learn Guitar across from the pond there. So glad you can make it, Simon. So if you've got a metronome and you've set that beat, you want to get really good at, we'll just mute our strings, get really good at strumming down when that beep happens and counting to 4 a lot. Hey, what's up, Tommy? Glad you could make it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you're really in time, the beep kind of goes away, especially when you're muting your strings, because your muted strings kind of cover it. So you'll kind of know. I tend to play a little fast, so the metronome helps me to slow down. So probably the number one way to get better at rhythm and timing is to use a metronome when you're practicing some of these exercises I'll show you, and just when you're playing in general. Doesn't have to be a ton. I tell folks, just play a little bit each day. You could use a metronome for 2 minutes, literally, a day, and make that part of your practice kind of warm up, and it's going to make a difference. You'll notice it sooner than you think, actually. So number one way is to use a metronome. For the members here that want to learn more about that, they can log in and watch those metronome lessons. The number 2 way that you can get much better at rhythm and timing is to tap your toe. And I know that folks, anyone who's watched workshops or is a member, hears me talk about this all the time. So I'm not going to go into complete detail, but you want to, I'll say a couple different things about tapping your toe. Your toe needs to tap and hit the ground on the beat, that whole note beat. So you're muted your strings and you're tapping your toe. Those things are all happening at the same time. So you're strumming down, counting to 4 and tapping your toe. 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So again, there's a lot of, if you ever attend one of our challenges or some of the module lessons inside Relax Learn Guitar really focus on toe tapping, that kind of thing. The other thing I want to say about toe tapping is you kind of want to get into it. So you want to not only tap your toe, but you want your body to kind of feel the rhythm too. So not just when you're playing guitar, if you're listening to music or you're at a concert or you're at a show or you're at a get-together and there's live music happening, or just even in the background, you want to kind of get into it with tapping your toe and kind of bobbing your head and moving your shoulders. So like you'll see, like when we were just when Vic was turning on the camera to start the lesson tonight, you'll see me do that a lot, which is kind of moving with it. So another good way to get better at rhythm and timing is to kind of make that toe tapping and the head bobbing, I know it sounds crazy, kind of part of what you're used to doing whenever you're playing music or listening to music. Because again, it's all about kind of muscle memory and getting your body used to that. See, Tommy says, do you have any lessons for beginners that is easy? Yes, I do have lots of beginner lessons, so you can check those out. First, I would ask, are you on the, have you signed up for my free lessons? Because you'll get those in your email. If not, you can do that. I'll leave the link for the sign up here in the description. If you go to the home page of the website, there's a link about the Relax Learn Guitar membership. We'll talk more about that later in this lesson, but it's really set up for anyone from very beginner through to intermediate. If you've never picked up a guitar before, kind of thing, all the way through to knowing some things and playing maybe open chords or being able to strum the guitar, that kind of thing. So yes, there are lots of beginner lessons and they're laid out very much in order of kind of when to watch them. If you want to kind of get an idea of how I teach and what I'm like, you can check out the website or the YouTube channel too. Let's see, do you have any lessons for beginners? That is not, yeah. Got that. Let's see. Oh, Tim said just got on. That's okay. Good to see you, Tim. So those are kind of the two first tips, using a metronome and tapping your toe. The third way that you can get much better at rhythm and timing is a little scary. It's to record yourself. So grab that phone and record yourself playing guitar. You could even pop on the old metronome, do the basic kind of 1, 2, 3, 4 count and strum down. Record yourself doing that and listen back and kind of see how close you are to playing in rhythm. Record yourself playing a song or maybe doing chord changes, and listen back is a great way to get much better because you'll kind of hear yourself and be able to look at that. I do offer folks in Relax Learn Guitar to be able to send me recordings. They can share them with the entire group if they choose. Some people do that. Some people just like to send it to me and only I'm watching them, and I'm happy to give feedback on kind of how things are going or maybe some tips on things to improve. But being able to record yourself, if you can do it on video, it's even better because you can actually see what you're doing, but you can also just do it with audio. But that's kind of tip number 3, or the third way you can get better, is to record yourself and listen back. So those are, hey, what's up? Eric Lisco. Papa.
Hi, Pop.
Hi, Pop. What's up? I thought it was David Lisco for a minute. Oh, I think that Eric is Dave's.
Yes.
Oh. The father-son thing going on. Cool. Glad you could join us. So let me give you a couple of the last two parts of this workshop are some actual exercises to work through that can help you get better. And these would be great things to record yourself doing so you can kind of hear how you're improving. So we're going to use a metronome. We're going to mute our strings for this first part. Again, it's just on 76 beats per minute. So the first thing is to get really good, and we worked a lot on this last time, is just counting to 4 and strumming on down strums and tapping that toe. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to add in one up strum at the end of this 4 beat. So it's going to sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and. Okay, so I want you to kind of add this to your kind of daily schedule here if you want to kind of work on this rhythm piece and add in that up strum. 1, 2, 3, 4, and play that along with your metronome. Now the other thing we're going to do now is we're going to move our left hand. Well, if you're strumming with your right hand, most folks are, but you're going to move your fretting hand, slightly move this fretting hand on that up strum. So it's going to look like this. Turn the metronome back on. Move it up or down. One, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and you want, the reason we're doing this is again around kind of muscle memory. Get your hand used to, we're going to use that up strum as a slight little bit of time to make changes to the chords we're playing. And getting your hand used to making those changes on that up strum keeps you in time when you're changing chords. Okay? Hope that makes sense. Give you a visual here. So, seems simple, but stick with me. So you've gotten the metronome down, you're using this to move your hand. And so we're going to add in some chords. I'm just going to use two chords for this exercise. So this is that was kind of the fourth way to get better. This is the fifth. We're going to actually play some chords and then talk about bar chords as well for folks who are a little further along. So we're going to play a G chord, and we're going to use I'm going to call it the 4-finger G chord. If you've not played this chord in a while, you've got your index finger on the 5th string, 2nd fret, middle finger on the 6th string, 3rd fret. You're going to use your ring finger on the 2nd string, 3rd fret, and your pinky on the 1st string, 3rd fret. So kind of a G chord, and you're also adding in your ring finger. And then we're going to play a C add 9 chord. Now, the way to get to that pretty quickly is we're just going to move our middle and index fingers down a string. So here's the G chord. To play a C add 9, you just move things down. Your middle finger is going to play the 5th string, 3rd fret. Your index finger is going to play the 4th string, 2nd fret. And you don't play the 6th string. These are just strumming strings 5 through 1. So you have the G with 4th finger and a C add 9. On the C add 9, your ring finger and index finger stay in the same place. So you're just moving these 2 fingers. Okay? So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to turn our metronome on, and we're going to alternate between that G chord and that C add 9 chord, strumming those down strums first. So just 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Also tapping our toe on the down beat. Okay. So get that going pretty well. See, Tony Henderson, I just noticed that a great voice you have. How about singing us a song someday? Thanks for doing what you do. Well, thank you, Tony, for the compliment. I just did a members lesson Sunday night with members at Relax and Learn Guitar and made a joke about how this is not relaxandlearnhowtosing.com. It's relaxandlearnguitar.com. So yeah, I love to sing. My voice is a little low for most pop, country, folk music, but I like to sing, so I do it anyway. And yeah, so if you ever watch any of my other lessons, I do sing to kind of get the point across on what people want to learn to play. And our guitar challenges, I sing in those as well. But it's very nice of you to say that, so thank you. Okay, so you got the G and the C chord, G and C add 9. So get good at that down 4 times. Now we're going to add in the up strum at the end of that 4 count. Turn our metronome back on. Eric says you do good lessons. Thank you, Eric. I like what I do, and thanks for checking out the lessons for sure. So we have this up strum we're going to add in. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 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 so what that's hopefully going to show you is we were working on that 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're using that up strum, just that little bit of a half count basically, to make that chord change and stay in rhythm between that G and that C. You're really just kind of working on getting your hand used to moving during that up strum. Sergey says, I like the way he's teaching. Thanks for that. I'm glad you like it. We're going to talk more about how you can get more lessons from me here in a bit. So you have that. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. That's kind of the 5th exercise when we add those chords in. The one last thing I want to show you is some bar chords. If you're a little more advanced, you can use this up strum to change the bar chord. Let's just say we're playing, we're going to go from like a G to a G and D. So, play that and then turn on your metronome and kind of see, kind of test yourself. I was playing a little fast. So you have. It's playing really fast. And that way you're getting used to kind of moving. Eventually your kind of brain makes the connection and that hand's going to move when you're doing some up strums, and it gives you a little bit of time to make those changes and those rhythms stick together well because you're changing chords in time. And that's probably one of the number one things folks have difficult with, is kind of changing chords in time and in rhythm. And you can always, start slow on the metronome and speed up as you get more comfortable, and kind of go faster the further along you are. Is another thing you can do. I always tell people to start out slow first and then work your way up. The speed will come. You want to get, correct, do it correct first and then quick later. Jim Fackelman, how are you doing? Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. Vicky's entertaining Maggie May, the official mascot of Relax on Guitar, but I'm sure she would say hello if she were in here.
Hello.
Just said hello. So if you want to kind of challenge yourself a little bit and you've a little further along, you can kind of play some bar chords and get your hand used to moving on that up strum part. Terry says hard time with bar chords is very normal. That's one that just takes, it's one of those where you keep playing and eventually it's just going to be like a light bulb and it's going to happen, I swear. And you'll be like, oh, I finally got it. But that is one that takes a while. But I wanted to throw that in here just for folks because once you've learned bar chords, then kind of the next step is, switching in between them. So those are the 5 ways I think you can improve at rhythm and timing. You've got using that metronome, tapping that toe, kind of bobbing the head. Record yourself and listen back. If you're a member at Relax on Guitar, share that video or audio with me and I'll help you with some advice. And then there's exercises with those down strums and then adding in an up strum, moving that hand to kind of change those rhythms or change those chords to stay in rhythm. So that's kind of where, those are kind of the 5 things I wanted to cover tonight. If you have questions, let me know and just pop them in the comments. Hopefully, if this all's kind of made sense and seems helpful to you, maybe give me a thumbs up. Jim says, best teacher on the internet as well. Thank you, Jim. I'm not paying anybody to do this, to say these. So I very much am appreciative of the folks that have liked the lessons and that are involved and giving great feedback. So thank you. Joe says, thanks for the lessons. They've helped me immensely. That is great news. Kevin Bird says, like your way of teaching, big help. Thanks. You're totally welcome. That's why I'm here. All right, you guys have a great night. Thanks for tuning in as always. And I'll see you guys soon. Take care.